Greetings, greetings, greetings. Back to Nature Africa, back to Nature family, back to Nature community, back to Nature collective. Welcome to another fantastic, beautiful episode right here in the Garden of Paradise, aka also known as Back to Nature Organic Farms. We want to welcome everyone out there at YouTube land who continues to follow us on our journey, who continues to play a role and a part of this family, and particularly in the comment section. I love all your comments and getting a chance to engage and interact with everyone there and say thank you. Not only what I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, but I want to say thank you to the Almighty for this continued gift that we call life. Still breathing, heart is still kicking, eyes can still see, ears can still hear. Attitude of gratitude is so important. And so with that, let's get started with another beautiful, wonderful episode here in this abundance that we call Mother Nature, on a very powerful episode that cannot be factored out when we are considering farming, particularly if you're going to approach it as a commercial farm or even as a social enterprise, sort of, something that will generate, income, generate profit, but impact the society. So sort of Back to Nature Organic Farms and our initiative Back to Nature, it's more of a social enterprise. So how do we always get started? We get started by just pointing out that the closer we are to nature, the more whole, happy, at peace, at ease we are. The further we get away from nature, when we move into artificial living, into fake lifestyles and fake news and so much denatured living, we get into areas of life that are not as conducive towards the edification of realizing our full optimal human potential. So we advocate, we inspire, motivate, encourage Kenyans, East Africans, and beyond to adopt more natural, holistic lifestyle approaches towards maintaining, because if you're healthy, there's nothing you want to do more than maintain your health, or regain it if you've lost it. So today's episode, we're going to talk about the moolah, besha, what we call it here in Kenya, your pesa, right? Cha-ching, the dough, the guap, the cheddar, what are all the names for this thing that we call money? And we have to take that in consideration when farming, because if not, we will not be able to farm sustainably. And sustainably means something that can be able to regenerate, to continue. And we are very big on understanding institution building, right? Something that we can leave for our future generations to come. And therefore, today is a special day because it is early harvest day on the farm. And that's why actually where I think where I've chosen to film here today, you're going to see something here in a second, or I should be pointing up there in a second, that our trees have now been in the ground a year, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years now. And we are now, for this particular region here in East Africa that sits along the equator, the tropical region, the season for harvest usually comes around the March, April, May, June, July. So we have a window there that extends. Sometimes it extends a little further. That's one of the reasons that Africa is the future for avocado production, because our competitors in the world, Mexico and Peru and the Southern American countries, their window closes, while the East African ones, and even in Africa, I know South Africa is a big producer as well, we have a little bit of a longer window. So our early harvest on this farm is what happened today. And there you go. Modern technology always working for you. Can't live with it, can't live without it. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a discussion here. And what you're going to see, actually, you're going to be doing a little bit of editing magic, which I typically, don't do. I usually like just turn on the camera, one take and rock and roll. But you're going to see cut-in shots here of different parts of the harvest that was going on in the farm today. And since it was a long period, or over a period of time, of the harvesters coming, actually, funny enough, I'm not sure in this episode, but in a future episode, I'll talk about when you are going now to harvest and taking your produce to market, what are all the different options. There is the farm gate, or individuals that will come and meet you at the farm gate. There are the middlemen. There are actual producers that in the area who, have their own particular brands, and they sort of buy from you, or others who are making oil, avocado oil. So there are many different ways. So we went with a particular interesting farm gate approach, with an arrangement where one of the local, actually I think it's probably the largest avocado oil producer in the world, and particularly organic avocado oil, came to the farm today. They brought along with them their harvesters. They brought their crates. We were sort of testing them to see what kind of structural organization do they have, the prices that they were working with, sort of how they were going to treat the farmer coming here, because we're going to go into pruning the trees here in a few weeks to come, etc. And so that's what you're going to, have a chance to see, how they were able to pick some of the avocados. Once they picked, they started doing some initial early sorting of the avocados and the clipping of the different the little stem that comes along, because that determines how quickly the avocado will ripen, etc. You have a chance to see how they pack the avocados within the crates, how then those crates are stacked, how eventually the crates are weighed, and with the weighing, how you're able to tabulate the different weight of the avocados in the different crates, containers that they have, and then how they pack it onto their transport vehicle. You have a chance to sort of see, what goes into that, and get a chance. I think I might even find a way to get a picture of the receipt that's given, because as we go through each crate, we're taking, tabulating the amount of weight and writing it down, and then getting a chance to total the total amount of weight, and across the board. And so it has been a very interesting experience here today, and very fulfilling, because you put in so much work, you've put in so much effort, and still our trees are not yet mature trees. Mature trees are about 5 years in. So we're still about 3 years in, and yet we still were able to get a pretty decent, in terms of weight, and a number of avocados from our 200-300 trees that we currently have on our particular farm. So you have a chance to see that. However, I want to pick up the camera now, and I want to go around showing you how some trees were ready for the fruits to be picked today, and others are still relatively young, and in about 2 months, 2.5, 3 months, on a number of the other trees, we'll be harvesting again, and probably even get a third harvest over the course of the next 6 months. And so avocados, and it's beautiful, and this is the beautiful thing about going with trees and sort of a permaculture. At least permaculture comes from the name permanent culture, meaning that once you've put the trees in, they're a little bit different than the 3-month vegetables, 4-month vegetable, 90-day vegetables that you harvest and then you plant again, you harvest, you plant again. Once these trees are in the ground, And once you've given them the nutrients, you've gotten the water, you know, the TLC we talk about here, the tender, loving care, right? These trees will produce for 30, 40, 50 plus years. And each year, the volume goes up. And more trees, particularly if you prune them correctly, know when to give them the right, nutrition and vitamins and minerals and the water, all of that. It's a beautiful thing. And that's why for the rest of the land that we haven't been able, from certain challenges we haven't been able to get many other trees on there yet. But we have hundreds, if not thousands of more trees that are going to be coming to this orchard. And scaling up what we have sort of been in, I would say, a research and development on this part of the land that has about 300 trees or so on the land. So let me pick the camera up and let's have a short, brief walk through the farm and just show you different trees at different stages, even though we harvested today and were able to be happy with what we were able to bring off the land. So we always sort of show our water tower there in the background. So we're in phase B, phase 2, and block A. So you'll see this tree, by the way, beautiful tree, twice as tall as I am right now. And you'll have a chance to see that the avocados here are still relatively young, still relatively small, and still growing and developing. And we're looking at another 3 months here for these to get them nice, fat, and juicy and ready to be harvested. By the way, we're here, you might have seen, we shot a video here where we were walking barefoot not that long ago. So if you go back to that video and then you have a chance to see what has already grown and developed. And the cabbages here, nice little cabbage patch is coming up in a beautiful way. Having a chance to get this drip irrigation. Not to mention we have the rains that are here, so they're well fed in terms of the water. So you see another tree. This one here, in about 4 weeks, they will be ready for harvest. As a matter of fact, there are 1 or 2 here that are probably even ready right now, because if you look at the size of my hand and the palm and you look at the size of that avocado, you can see that this is ready. We just want the others to come up and make sure that they are also get enough size. Actually, I might pluck this myself personally and eat this when she's ready, but the rest of her brothers and sisters here need a couple more weeks. So you see that on some of these trees. Others like this were fully harvested here today. Maybe 1 or 2 like these that are still left that are on the tree. Have a chance to, sort of see that. But most of all these were harvested, and I'm sure I'll be cutting in some clips of the crates and cutting in some clips of them clipping the avocados themselves at this section. So the harvesters came through this section and were able to harvest most of the avocados here and from about 300 trees that the avocados we felt were ready for harvesting. However, like I mentioned, we'll still be harvesting here over the course of the next 3 to 6 months for those avocados that were not yet ready. And with that, the way it sort of works also as we get to dealing with going to market is typically avocados you might buy. If you're in Kenya, you're going to spend anywhere between 20 to 50 shillings for an avocado. Whether you're going to get it at the mama mboga, these shops or stalls, typically on the road, which is a benefit in Africa. You find them all through Africa. You know, unlike America, Europe, many other places, you have these things they call food deserts, where you could get in your car and drive for 30 minutes and not find a live or real tomato, right? In Africa, you don't have that issue. You have a lot of entrepreneurs, particularly women, who really taken it upon themselves to set up these makeshift stalls, usually somewhere on the road, and they're selling fruits and vegetables, etc. So usually they'll sell the avocados there 20 shillings or 30 shillings. If you're going to go to an actual grocery store, supermarket here, you're going to pay about 50 shillings. It's about 50 cents, which is US dollar. Now in America, the prices can range anywhere from $1 to $5 for avocados. Whole Foods, and I know California has been having a huge issue with water. I know just a month or so ago, America banned avocados coming from Mexico. And Mexico is the biggest supplier of avocados to America, and so the price shot up for a single avocado. We were seeing people paying $4.99 for that. But nonetheless, when you're a producer, you're not necessarily selling per piece, and if you do, a lot of times some farmers get taken advantage for, get paid 1 shilling, which is like 1 cent, or 5 cents, 5 shillings, 10 shillings, for a single avocado. But typically what we'll do is we'll sell per kg, a kilo, and a kilo can range here anywhere from about 65 shillings to 150 shillings on the high end, depending. And right now, with what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, and food prices going through the roof, it's also affecting in terms of our avocado supply and value chains as well. And so in that regards, once you agree on the per kilo and they do the weighing, like you'll see, clips here, we go through the weighing. And once you have a chance to do that, you're able to make your deal, and either they'll pay you on the spot or 1 or 2 weeks deposit the money in your particular bank account in that regards. So that's a little bit about, sort of what I wanted to talk today. And I've, paused here by some of these trees. Once again, that you'll see these younger, smaller fruits that give them 2, 4, 6 weeks, and they'll be nice, juicy, and fat, and delicious, and luscious, and scrumptious, ready to eat. And by the way, avocados are superfoods. I want to remind everybody that avocados are superfoods. Some of the healthiest fats that you can have and find. Some of the most propitious. People call it not only green gold because of the money that can be earned through avocado farming, but also the kind of health benefits that they have. It becomes like nature's butter. Once you get the taste of avocados, once you go avocado, you don't go back. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, so this is where we'll wind down our video for today. Once again, thank you for continuing to always tune in. Thank you for following this journey here at Back to Nature. Thank you for being part of this community and family. Hopefully you're learning and taking some value that you can apply. Maybe not farming on the scale we're doing here, or others that are much larger than we are. Actually, we're probably on the smaller side of things. And I just want to salute all farmers, all food producers who work hard to feed humanity every day. You can't go without a farmer in your life every day, except when you're fasting maybe. But other than that, whether you're having bread or you're having tea or coffee, someone grew that fruit, someone grew that vegetable, someone grew that herb, someone grew it. And the name of that person is a farmer. And the farmer are a blessing to all mankind and all humanity. So salute to all farmers, and we put ourselves in that small little category as well. So thank you very much for continuing to tune in. May the force of nature be with you. Give thanks, peace, and blessing. God bless, and have a fantastic day. Now we're gonna go and pop some organic celebratory champagne for our harvest day today. Peace.
Ahorita 19.5. Oi. 15.1.